Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander, TFW, and I'm joined this week by the juicy ice slush himself. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
I'm not so much a brain freeze as a brain overwhelming.
I thought you were going to say brain ice age, but that works too, I suppose.
Like a glacier, I move. Slowly. Inevitably.
Methodically. Actually, do glaciers move methodically, would you say?
They move in a straight line.
But
But that's largely because what's going to stop a glacier?
That's a documentary right there. Oh, World's Strongest Man. Which man can stop a glacier? I like the idea of this. That
would be an interesting reality TV show.
Yeah. Celebrities go dating on a glacier. And then they just freeze to death.
But they have to be in bikinis and everything else. They're on one of the sunny ones.
It's like Love Island or something. How are you doing this week, Mr. Mikey? Because I don't want to talk about Love Island.
Yeah, me neither, because it's on the radio at work all the time, and I'm just like, why are we listening to this bullshit?
Why? Do you work with a lot of girls, or are they mostly dudes? Because I'd be concerned if it's a lot of dudes.
But it's the radio station of choice, because it plays the same songs over and over and over and over.
Are they songs from Japan?
No, they're not. They're not even songs from the good side of America.
Oh no! I had a feeling that was the case.
They're just like, baby, baby, baby. Oh, shut up.
That song's still not on the radio, is it? Because that's old, right? That's an old song.
Also, what's that one? I only know the version of it. I know the song because of South Park, and I only know the lyrics of it because of South Park. But ma. I don't give no crap about no whales. Ma. I don't give a crap about whales, so go and hug a tree and I love it.
Yeah, I don't know the song. I know that. I know the tune, but not
Lady
what
Gaga.
the actual song is. That what it is?
Russian roulette is not the same without a gun. And I'm just picturing that time when they brought Godzilla out to scare off the Japanese from the aquarium.
That's right. See,
when
it comes to Lady Gaga, I mostly remember Chris singing it. Evangelist.
Oh God, that's a horrific experience.
You remember that from back in the day, though, right?
I know, but it's still horrible to be reminded of.
Yeah, you got to remember these things. But Mikey, this week in Transformers news, we had Wonderfest, a festival that's wonderful in the land of Japan, and they showed a. I was going to say a myriad, but I don't. It's not that much. They showed a handful.
Some.
Yes. If you want to go by the simple terms, some would suffice. But there was a Takara representative that did declarations. And there were some extra images as well. But we'll talk about the declarations and the statements of interest that were thrown at this man.
He answered questions.
Assuming it was a man. So the topics were about the Armada Optimus Prime, the new mold, which we talked about
long time ago now.
Yeah, probably at the last kind of Japanese.
Yeah, because it was revealed alongside Star Convoy, who has come out.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why, but when he said Star Convoy, in my head, I thought you meant the Masterpiece Star Saver, and I was like, it wasn't that long ago, was it? Holy shit. But no, you're right, yeah, around that time, so that was a while. That was a good long time. So, no decisions as to whether to put him in Masterpiece/Generations or in another line. Another line? All right. It hasn't been cancelled, but nothing has been decided what to do with him, as they want to show the prototype to gauge interest. So basically, it's your fault it's not out yet, because you haven't shown enough interest.
Maybe if you told us whether or not you wanted to pay Masterpiece prices or Generation prices, we'd get it finished. Even though you damn well know what line you're going to put him in. We see your bullshit.
Which Generation's price point are you talking about, though, Mikey? Are you talking about the Seacon's price point?
I have seen the amount of Earthrise reviews of Optimus in the last week, and I'm just like, yes, it looks like a decent figure, but it's not £50 worth.
No, I was talking about the Seacons, because they're expensive. I mean, they're a 2-pack, but
they're an exclusive, I'll give you that much at least, but
Well, weren't we assuming that the Armada Optimus Prime was going to be, at least for a time?
I was assuming, but then it disappeared. Now clearly maybe that's it. Maybe with Generations or Selects. Maybe they're trying to figure out if they're going to mass release it or. I mean, the fact they're saying we don't know whether to release it in a mass piece of Generations. Those are two very different lines.
Yeah, it didn't like from the one image that we got all that time back ago. I don't remember it looking masterpiecey kind of quality.
Like it would. You'd sell it as a high grade Generations.
Yeah.
Or
like Generations Plus, or whatever you want to say.
Basically Selects. You'd sell it as Selects because you could sell it at whatever price you wanted.
Yeah. Not masterpiece though. Anyway, I'm sure you've probably seen it, but for those not aware, there's been some recent quality control issues with Masterpiece Hound, with lots of things breaking on him,
and all the other masterpieces, bar Black Arachnia. Except for a peg, which is basically due to the fact that it's clear plastic and something.
Oh, why was it clear plastic?
It's the web.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, they only kind of made a statement about Hound at least, so that's not good. Regarding the
Optimus, Optimus. Now there's something we need to talk about because that's $400.
Yeah. Right, so regarding the factories, different materials were used in Vietnam, but they were unaware of how they would pan out for Hound, as they were unaware of what the results will be. I guess would be is what it should have said. They know of the breakages right now, but no decisions has been made for the future releases, or if they will change the factories or materials. So basically, the blame has been shunted over to Vietnam, even though realistically it's Takara's fault because they should have had a prototype figure done and also been able to test the resistances and how easy it is to explode.
Even then, they're like saying like, oh well, we were unaware of how it would pan out for Hound. It sounds like they were using Hound as a test run. Yeah, which is an expensive test run.
It could be a more expensive test run if it was Prime. But I mean, he had his own problems as you recently mentioned. So
Dinobot got away the easiest because his is the easiest to manage.
Yeah, because it was just a super stiff joint, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, and even then, most of the time, as long as you weren't handling it like a nut job.
Yeah.
But Megatron, Beast Wars Megatron's, I think, is one of the most egregious.
Yeah, because it's almost gold plasticky, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's not material. That might be material. That might be the factory. They use swirly plastic where they shouldn't have, which they did. But that may not be because of the factory. That could just be like, hey, what's faster?
Yeah. It's obviously it's hard to know exactly what the mistake was made for these things, but it definitely seems like from this statement the blame's being shunted onto the factories. Who knows if they're going to change? I mean, we won't be told if they change factories or materials. We'll just see in future products if they, die or not. The last statement, or the last little topic, was regarding the recent constant price increments. Increment. So Takara Tomy, booth director, mentioned that the fans have overly demanded the cartoon aesthetic, so it's your fault. Yours.
That's not an accurate statement to say this was demanded, but it is your fault.
Yep. So in other, as it continues, to pull off. Damn, that doesn't sound right.
Was this Googled?
I don't know. I'm not reading
Googled.
This. It feels like I'm reading badly because I do that sometimes. But
no, this seems like someone. This is a Google.
For a person who's never ever confident in reading things out throughout his entire life, to then make sentences that are badly structured is not a helpful thing.
I'm just picturing you in a restaurant. Sir, what would you like to order?
The ham fish apple pie.
They're just pointing at the. I want this one.
So that's a beef burger.
My glass. Could you read that out, please? My glasses. I can't really say. Beth.
Beth.
The Beth.
Yep. I was such a disappointment to my mum being an English teacher. I probably still am, I'm sure.
Probably why you're in the basement all those years.
I'll read it again. So in other, to pull off the cartoon aesthetic while maintaining the proper alt mode, the number of parts for each figure has gone up compared to Masterpiece Dantus or Wheeljack? Dantas?
Datsuns.
Oh, Datsuns. That makes more sense. The Datsuns or Wheeljack. They're also, some of them are bigger and some of them are small. Like the Datsuns are not big versus those, so it's not a one-to-one comparison, I would say, but whatever. The cost of materials has also gone up, which has also contributed to the rising prices, or the rise in pricing. On this matter, what's this? Gamelingual.
Yeah, the guy, the person, the representative for TFW Gamerlingual, I feel this was an inappropriate thing to say because it's the most dramatic, like, an unrealistic statement because it's like not being able to buy one figure does not mean the hobby's dead for you.
I'll ask you in a moment what you mean by that. I'll finish this and I'll ask you. So GameLink will let him know that many fans feel like they've been forced... Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. That they've been forced to quit the hobby if the prices become too expensive. The response was, this is something they have discussed with executives and contributes to decisions of what figures will be made next. So... I mean, in some ways, to be fair, I see what he's saying, because although neither you or I have, in quotations, quit the hobby, I was pushed out of buying toys a while ago. Like, this isn't anything new.
I buy regularly now. Like,
yeah. I buy super irregularly now.
It's not my impulse buys have dropped off, basically.
Massively. Because, again, both you and I have talked about how we feel that the quality of the figures has not increased along with the quality... with the increase of prices. Because I actually... when I went to the shops this week, I saw Apeface in store and had a look at him. And I thought he looked like... there was something about the plastic which didn't look very nice. It looked kind of cheapy, and I don't know whether that was just the colours that was used on it or what, but I just looked at it and went, ugh, and just put it down. But yeah, I don't think you should be throwing the statement of fans quitting the hobby to a dude at a convention.
No,
there's a better way to have phrased it.
I mean, let's face it, he is, again, very much shifting blame to the nearest target, because we're not making him artificially inflate prices with excessive numbers of pointless accessories. Hi, Optimus.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that toy was vastly more expensive than it needed to be.
Yeah.
And any review I've seen of it, no one, like, even the reviewers that have gone like, oh, I think it's worth the money, are struggling to justify it.
Yeah.
And most of the reviewers I've seen, like, wow, the base figure is competent.
Mm-hmm. Problematic, but
maybe 150 at a stretch, 200 at a...
I'd say, to be fair, 200. I'd say 200's fair for it.
Yeah, no, I would say that's a fair price for the base figure.
Yeah.
The 450 450 to 500 for a box and a bunch of accessories you'll never use.
Yeah.
Like this, and they're not key accessories for the most part.
No. Like the main thing Prime needs: a gun, axe, matrix.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say the trailer is necessary. Like I know people will say
I did not mention the trailer because it's terrible.
Yeah, the trailer is... oh, God, what they did with the trailer pissed me off. But
I guarantee you this. I guarantee that if they sold the trailer separately, they wouldn't sell many trailers.
Yeah, no, I guarantee you that.
And yeah, I almost think they should do that. I think that if you do an Optimus Prime figure that's a masterpiece, you should sell the trailer separately. But sell it as maybe sell it as like a limited thing. So then you can up the price even more for what it is, then only the people who really want the trailer would go, okay, yeah, I'll buy it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think saying people are being forced to quit the hobby because of the price of Masterpiece. How many exclusively Masterpiece collectors are
there? Exclusively? I don't know. There will be some.
Oh yeah,
there will be some, but I don't know anyone personally that is just only Masterpiece.
I've never met one.
No,
I'm sure they're out
be
there,
but yeah. Was there anything else here that you thought was interesting for them to talk about?
Nothing here, because everything else is another story. So.
Yeah, that's why I thought we'd leave that till a bit later. Mikey, I selected this story for you specifically because you have a new problem potentially, and I wanted to know if this would fall in the category, even though I kind of feel I know the answer will be no.
No, but like he's got friends behind him who are a problem. I don't even know what they're from, and they're a problem.
So what is this,
like,
Mikey?
Who are you? Why do I want you? You filthy bastards. Sentinel. By the way, did you hear Flame Toys are moving into other markets?
No, what do you mean by that?
They've got the license for the Arkham Asylum games. They're doing an Arkham Knight.
Oh, that was shown at Wonderfest as well. I didn't see who did it, but I did see it, and I thought, I don't care about that video game at all, but that looks nice.
Flame Toys, dude.
Yeah, they do. It seems like they do quality.
But yes, Sentinel and Nendroid are coming together to do evil things. I should say, Sentinel doesn't have a Nendroid line. Sentinel is part of the Nendroid line, let's be honest. So they are coming together to do Bumblebee movie, Optimus, and Bumblebee. So these are from the most recent Transformers film. It's the Earth mode version of both. And yeah, if you're into the Nendroid aesthetic, these are obviously very appealing. They are super deformed. They have gigantic heads. They're not for me, because these characters are not ones I really want super deformed versions of. Especially since, like, because of that, like, leftover Bayverse aesthetic, they do look slightly terrifying.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned this before with previous SD versions of movie figures, that they always come across as a little bit creepy.
Yeah, like they've killed before.
Yeah, the big eyes and then the over details. It's they both have like quite angry like eyebrow expressions as well, it seems.
Yeah. But I think if you're into the movie stuff, like I can tell you, Nendroid's just a feckin' blast, so it's worth it. So if you're into the movie stuff and you want a new addiction, this is probably a good one to consider. Or you could get one of the many other Nendroid figures for many other video games or anime or TV series.
Woo!
Or you can get them from the DCEU and Marvel.
Oh,
they have Nendroids of both.
Here's the thing that I don't think Nendroid ever did, Mikey. Monster Musume, right?
No, but you would have to do new bodies for everyone.
Oh yeah, that would be a problem. But I was just thinking to myself, did they ever do it? While you were talking, I was like, I don't think they did. Shall I take us on, Mr. Mikey, or was there anything there?
No, unless you have something to add.
No, not particularly.
Then move us along.
So we've got Paralyzing Toys soft vinyl Jetron figure. Jetron being the Purple Seeker, I guess is that his official name? Jetron?
Don't know about I think the Jetrons were a name given to the Seekers in Japan at one point.
Really?
I think so. And he's a background character in, I think, More Than Meets the Eye, and he's also like the Air Command Squadron dudes from War Within.
Right, yeah. I mean, generic kind of background character for the Sunrise cartoons.
Based on the Heroes of Cybertron Purple Seekers trio from the OTCC Air Warrior pack.
Well, this is a special redeco from the Yutai Shoten soft vinyl Starscream figure, which was a Wonderfest 2018 exclusive. So this is 2 years on. This is a lame repaint. One could argue. Tell me I'm wrong. Fight me.
Lame repainto.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's not very interesting, but never mind. So you know what would have been interesting if they'd done like something dumb like Python Patrol colors, or like so he would have had tiger stripes over him, or like Python style over him, because then he would be he'd be grotesque, but he'd be visually a bit more interesting than the generic Seeker. I gotta say, I don't think these look very good. I remember the what were they called? They weren't hard heroes. What were the little plastic Heroes of Cybertron?
Yeah, I remember them.
They were in a pose. They were in multiple bits, so you could pull off the limbs, which I did because I was like, "Oh, they've taken damage. There goes his arm." These just look like they actually, to me, look like a bar of soap. They're quite flat. They're not in any kind of dynamic pose. They're not even fully painted. I don't see the appeal myself. Mikey, what do you think? You love it?
If you want something like this, there are better versions out there.
Yeah, I would say so.
So, I'm not really interested.
No. Mikey, big news. Yes. Tell us about the things that are big and newsy.
We saw Overload and Scrapper from the Studio Series Constructicons, and we saw Devastator combined.
Woo! What do you think?
I actually think these look really good.
Are these
and it
two
looks-
new? Are these new designs?
These
Or
are-
are these in the movies?
No. Scrapper, I remember. Scrapper is in the movie. I remember his because he's in a scene where he has a big mace and he tries to squish Shia LaBeouf. And Overload's a bit of a complicated thing. His vehicle mode is in the movie. He's got a Legends toy, but the robot mode never made it in the film.
Oh, okay.
But his vehicle is in that big group shot where they're all pulling up to form Devastator. But I think these are really, actually fairly decent looking figures of designs I don't like. Although Overload is weird enough to be interesting.
Sorry, I gotta ask which one's Overload. Is
the
he
red
the red?
one.
Okay, I actually like the yellow one more myself.
Yeah. Devastator, again, looks like a pretty solid figure of a design I don't like.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Which is a shame because if I was anyway into the aesthetic of the Constructicons from Revenge of the Fallen, I would be probably foaming at them out right now.
Yeah, I know Brickinator is a big fan of these guys, and I think he's been slowly working his way through getting them all. Are they? Do you know from the word on the grapevine, Mikey, how well these are being received? Like, is the quality on them good or anything like that?
Yeah. Overall, they seem like Mixmaster is basically catching everyone off guard by being really good.
Oh, okay.
The weakest ones from what I hear are Long Haul and Rampage. Long Haul is just not an amazing figure. Rampage is so weird that he's basically a vehicle and a limb that happens to also have something approximating a robot mode.
Okay.
Because he's a pogo stick.
Do you think they both suffer because they need to be feet?
Apparently they suffer from their weird robot modes.
Oh, okay.
But Long Haul, I've heard like some people love him.
Mm-hmm.
And in all, people seem really happy with them. Like the weird little T-Rex one, people really like.
Yeah, he's quite cute. You know, with his stupid little arms.
But like they seem to be like a really good, like Demolisher, Scavenger. Like some people are for or against, but I think again that's more the design.
Okay.
Because he's a pair of wheels. But yeah, from what I hear, like the figures themselves, they've gone down well.
Oh, that's good.
Like I'd say they are the cream of the studio series.
Okay, they're the cream of the crop. Would Macho Man Randy Savage talk about them while holding a little cup of cream?
The thing is, can you stop Macho Man Randy Savage from talking
about cream? No.
No.
It's too late.
Mm.
What did you think of the highly painted one that's on top of the little pyramid diorama?
It's fun. I think it looks fun. The paint is something's a little off about it. I don't know what it is. Like, it looks competently painted, but there's something not quite right.
Is it that they've darkened it down that you don't like, do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. That's fair.
But yeah. Also, along with that, we had the reveal of Masterpiece 50 and 51. So the first one is going to be Beast Wars Tigatron. We are getting to the end of the Season 1 Maximals. I believe all we have left is Air Razor.
Scorponok?
Air Razor.
Oh, do you just mean
Air
Maximals?
Razor. Yeah, because I'm just thinking. Yeah. We've got Air Razor, Rat Trap, and Rhinox.
Yeah.
And considering the way they're going, I wouldn't be shocked if we got the other three.
Yeah, I do think they'll probably want to replace those. Generations toys.
Because like they're very into scale for these guys, and that's a very big Rat Trap and a very wee Rhinox.
Yeah.
So in that vein, Tigatron is not a retool of Cheetor. He is a new mold that uses the same
wait, Mikey, is he not just an upscale? Because I hear everybody saying he's just an upscale.
No, he's not.
But Mikey,
he's really genuinely not, and
isn't he though?
No, he has the same. He has the same transformation and has the same overall aesthetic because that's what Tigatron had. But if he was his chest has to transform completely differently.
Yeah.
Because he now has a tiger on it instead of a fake chest.
Yep.
He's got different ankles. He's got just looking at him, there's no part that's repeated. There's general aesthetics that are repeated. And I think they probably scaled up the crotch piece where they could. I'm sure some individual parts are scaled up for the model to save development costs, but nothing in the tiger mode is the same as the cheetah mode.
And they want to keep it as similar looking as possible as well. So I think you're right there.
And it's about a head and a shoulder taller than Cheetor as well.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks like really, really accurate to the show model. So I'm really interested to see how this guy turns out and how he's sitting and everything else. But the Beast Wars Masterpiece in general, like apart from the QC issues in the latter half, they've gone well.
I know it's a prototype, but did you see all of the paint chips on this figure?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
we could easily say that, it's a prototype, so, it's bound to happen. But then, Mikey, then we look at the previous releases we've had recently.
Yeah.
So something maybe to be concerned with? I don't know. Maybe it won't be. Hopefully it won't be. But
The next one is Masterpiece 51, which is RC. Which is our Masterpiece lady from season 3, which I saw someone describe as not G1, which was hilarious to me. Just like, where's G? They were really mad about RC getting a Masterpiece figure, and they were just going like, "Where's RC's G1 counterpart?" And they meant it. They really meant it, and I didn't say anything, but I was just staring, just like, she is her G1 counterpart. So I would say this is not 100%. This is more in line somewhat with some of the Japanese promotional art of RC than strictly the show model.
Yeah, the face is really not right.
Yeah, and she's also a bit more curvaceous. Not a lot, but a bit more. And people are not happy about her chest because there's this sort of weird dip.
Yeah.
But I think that's trying to emulate, because in the show she's got quite a long, like from her collarbone down to, let's call it what I call it, the tips of her nips. Mm-hmm. She has quite a long flowing part, and I suspect with the transformation that's really hard to replicate, so they're just kind of fudging it with some colors. Now, whether the shelf really bothers you it doesn't bother me, but I can see why. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking like, this looks like a really hopefully solid toy. I just want the Azalea version with the screaming face.
That's the Ocular Max one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the only RC I want right now. I will get it one day. I just need to find it.
See, that's the problem. In a way, it's good that this has came out finally, so people can make the decision. And I got it from a personal standpoint. I think the Ocular Max one is much better visually to look at. It got a nicer aesthetic, things to smooth down and everything like that. It's got a much better face.
Yeah, I'll be hopefully getting Nicey, and I will hopefully be getting Azalea at some point. Because I like Nicey, I really like, because
but that's not a G1 RC.
No.
That's a super stylized one. So
and Azalea is G1, and then there's that also other aspect that really appealed to me. This is kind of falling into the third party trap of, I've seen this done a lot. It's probably got the most solid alt mode, but none of the strict Masterpiece RCs apart from Azalea really do it for me. There's always something a bit off about them, and similarly there's just something a bit off about this. Now the question is, how swappable are her breasts? Which add-on pack goes with this?
Yeah. Are you saying someone's going to make
Andy,
a compatible
what
kit?
am I going to do? I don't know, Andy, but what am I going to do with this three pack of breasts of different sizes and perkiness that I bought on eBay and people did reviews of and demonstrated the squishiness of, and it was the most surreal experience of my life watching those reviews.
Why did you watch those reviews?
Oh my god, because I have a more listen, Andy. I watch nature shows where things get their faces ripped off. I have morbid curiosities.
Okay,
I find that the animal shows that are super unedited, where it's just like all the gore that's left in, because I'm just like, nature, it's a bitch.
Yeah.
And now it's basically the same thing. I'm just like, I have to know. I just have to know. And those were uncomfortable to watch.
Yes.
Because they weren't in English. I believe they were Mandarin. And the guy was clearly going into a lot of detail, and I'd swear, like, he was just doing this thing for like 5 minutes, just pushing them against each other. And I was just like, you're talking about suppleness or something, aren't you? Because you're not even putting on the toy right now. And it was just like, how did this get onto YouTube? But yeah, no, in all seriousness, I think this looks like it's a solid design, but there's a figure out there that does something I'm more interested in, which is Screaming Glasgow face.
Yeah, it's arguably better. I mean, I think just the normal RC version
But
looks better as
I
well.
will agree. I will agree with people who are saying, like, if you want show accuracy in the vehicle mode, this is probably the best one.
Probably. I mean, the vehicle mode does look accurate. I will give it that. It's pretty spot on. I will also throw out that the hands look really weird and creepy because they've given it, joints where the Ocular Max one, I guess, has like removable hands, so it has a lot more of a dynamic kind of natural feel to how the hands are designed and look. Like seriously, go look at the Ocular Max RC, Azalea, like you say. And then look
so
at the official one and just kind of go back and forth and go, yeah, okay, I don't know. I think
very good.
we also don't know how much RC is going to cost either. So that's
another,
another thing.
Hey, we had them have a legitimate statement saying like, suck it up.
Yeah.
Basically, about price. So
yeah, and I think Ocular Max are known for doing good quality products. And one could argue that compared to Takara at the moment, they might have a better track record. I don't know that for certainty, but they might do. Something to consider. So it's interesting, but yeah. I heard some people asking as well, like, why are they doing a season 3 character out of nowhere? And I'm like, just popular, it'll sell.
Because they're running out of characters that aren't Dinobots from season 1.
Nicole brought up in the conversation, why haven't they done Beachcomber or Cosmos? And I just went, no one likes them.
No one who wants Beachcomber and Cosmos.
Nicole.
Nicole's scum. She probably wants fucking Sea Spray as well.
No, he's not a real vehicle. They'll never make him.
She's probably sitting there going like, oh man, I really need one with a voice box that goes blah, 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 but in Japanese.
Oh man, that'd be ace, actually.
Yeah, actually I made it better. I didn't mean to, but I made it better.
Yeah, I think we had that statement, so we know that they're trying to pick characters who will be sellers instead of just going through, I guess, the season 1. And since we're running out of season 1 cast now,
and RC will sell.
Yeah, she will sell because, popular character, one of the big ones in season 3. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Galvatron at some point in the near future. Then, if that's the mandate that they're going with, because it's better than doing random DevCon. Imagine they do fucking DevCon, Masterpiece DevCon.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, everyone's first love.
Oh God, they why? Why do people like DevCon?
I don't know. Not even got a cool design. Anyway,
he's not even cool. He's not even interesting. Like, I'm a badass rebel. He's just like baby's first Han Solo.
Yeah. That doesn't sound unfair at least to me. But Mikey, let me take you on to, because that's all the Wonderfest stuff Transformer related, to Pop Culture Shock Museum, as they have a Pop Culture Shock Museum scale. As that's a thing, I guess. Optimus Prime official statue, and we've got a product description as well. So, the museum scale statue measures more than 25 inches. Doesn't say how much more. It just says more than 25 inches. Which is bigger than the previous 10 to 12 inches. Well, which is it? 10 or 12 inches? Come on. Accuracy. Come on, guys. It's got cell shading. That's a thing that this has. And the little blurb we have below is the Optimus Prime G1 Museum scale statue measures at 28 inches tall, standing boldly atop an orange Cybertronian environmental base complete with Autobot logo. A fearless leader, Optimus Prime is ready to roll out with his allies, wielding his iconic ion blaster and pointing the way forward against the onslaught of the evil Decepticons, or to the Burger King line. Optimus Prime features cel-shaded deco application that capture the iconic animated appearance of the G1 Generation 1 Transformers. The Optimus Prime G1 Museum scale is fully detailed with red, blue, and grey tones with yellow accents to evoke the classic two-dimensional art style in a three-dimensional form. The exclusive edition of the Optimus Prime G1 Museum scale statue, alright lads, I get it, includes an alternate right arm featuring the Autobot Orange Axe, Energon Axe, so you can upgrade your display and fight back against the Decepticons.
You don't exist in this scale yet.
No, the statue measured. Oh, okay. Right. The statue measures 22.5 inches tall, while the axe arm is attached. So, I guess when the axe is on, he gets short. Yes, it does. Yeah. So when they say he's 28 inches tall, they're measuring from the tip of the barrel.
Or from the base?
No, they're measuring from the tip of the barrel because he's holding the gun up, and when you replace the arm with the energon axe, he's holding the energon axe down.
Okay.
So he loses a few inches. So
don't we all?
Mikey, you're the statue man between the two of us. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
He looks good. You know me, I do love that paint scheme, and I think it turned out well in this.
Yes.
I kind of wish he came with that background though.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Interesting. They seem to be using one of the early models for Optimus, with the rounder head.
Right. Yes.
Rather than the sort of classic square one that everyone sort of imagines these days. Despite the fact in G1 nothing ever stayed the same.
Inconsistencies were consistent.
Ultimately, cartoon accuracy is a lie.
Ooh.
But yeah, he looks solid. There's a few. I'm sure there's a few angles where he looks a bit jank, but it's a statue. That's kind of part and parcel. I mean, does he look $800 worth? Also, I'm surprised there's no price difference between the main and the exclusive.
There must be a small price difference.
They're about $800.
Oh, all right. Well, why wouldn't you get the exclusive then?
Yeah. But no. Maybe shipping. But yeah, I wish the axe had more paint. Was painted rather than transparent.
Yeah, they're trying to give the energy effect, though it's kind of half-assed.
Yeah. Because it just kind of doesn't look like it blends.
No.
Andy, what's your thoughts?
Although I think the color scheme, like the paint job on it's really good, the proportions on it look really wonky. Like he's almost made of jello and he's slightly melting. Especially like looking at the chest, it looks really off from at least most angles I'm looking at. Yeah, I apart from the colors, I'm not a big fan of this. I think they hit the paint job and then the mold itself. Bar the head's fine. It's just like the body. The body like is the main draw for my eye, and that's it's just not right. There's something off about it. But you can get it if you like. Yeah. I wouldn't though, but you can.
I don't want to though.
Mikey, I want you to tell me about 2 Earthrise things that happened.
I will tell you about 3 things, in fact. So Earthrise had new commercials for the toys with some short bits of animation included. Most of these were fairly standard American style. Here's a figure, there's a figure, everywhere there's a figure with a little bit of animation. But the kind of big thing was Cyberverse did a 2-minute stop motion promo for kind of just the line as it is now, which was a snowball fight, which was glorious. It's amazing what a good stop motion animator can make those really unposable wave 1, wave 2 figures do.
Yeah.
It was really, really fun. I really recommend seeing it if you haven't. It's nice to see animations, and it's nice to see some ads on TV again and on the internet. I wouldn't exactly say I'm flipping out over them, but like, I like Ironworks one is just like, it does show that he's, to me, the most interesting figure in the line so far. Optimus, it shows he makes me angry. Because
he's another Optimus Prime, Mikey.
And I'm an Optimus Prime, you're spending an extra 20 quid, or, about an extra $30 if you want to do a strict conversion in this part of the world, for a box.
Yes. An iconic box.
For some. Also, I would say don't scroll down.
Why?
Don't scroll down.
I'm not gonna, so why? Why should I scroll down?
Because the first post you'll see is something else.
Okay. You'll have to tell me because I've already closed the page down. No,
I'm not. Just trust me, this is a public safety announcement. Do not scroll down.
Okay.
What's your thoughts, Andy?
I found the spots to be a little lackluster. Oh, you mean the Donald Duck thing, don't you?
I told you not to scroll down.
I've seen this before. I've seen this meme before.
Why are you scrolling down?
I don't even remember what episode. Was this someone kicking him in the back or something?
Presumably.
Donald's massive
But it's
erection.
old. It's very old. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen this used a lot. It's neat. It's fun. It's dumb. Yeah. The actual adverts, not as good as like I kind of hoped they would be. I didn't feel like they focused on the toys too much. There wasn't much shown for them. To be fair, it's just a lot of sweeping shots of them not doing anything. Rather than transforming or anything. Like, there's no, like, kid picking them up and smashing them against each other. You know? You get me? So, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. What other Earthrise stuff have you got for us, Mikey?
Yeah, we also got some in-hand images for Voyager Starscream, comparing it to classic Starscream from 2006. This may be a shock to you, but there is some difference in engineering, making it a better figure than a deluxe toy from 14 years ago.
That's all I wanted, Mikey. That's what everybody said. All people said for 13 years was, all we need is slightly better articulation. Everybody said that. No one didn't say that.
Head sculpt's better too.
It is. What a lazy fucking toy.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that, hey, we aren't just upscaling. But I'm also like, I have so many more problems with the current direction aesthetically and maybe engineeringly with this line that, hey, our Starscream is better than the one it's based off of is not a selling point for me.
No.
Because I saw Siege Starscream in a shop yesterday. I was just sort of staring and just like, how if someone threw you at me and threw the Earthrise one at me, like, I wouldn't, it would take, my brain would have to actually process which is which. Like, I know some people are going like, well, the engineering's fine and we're more cartoon accurate, and I'm just like, that's great if something else was coming down the line as well.
Yeah.
But
I think this would be much more acceptable if it was like 5 years ago it came out.
Yeah. And also, like, there's some things they've carried over I really don't like the chest cage in the vehicle mode, or the wings on the side of the feet. I'm not crazy about.
Yeah.
Or the gaps, because that is a gappy robot mode. You can literally stick your finger in there.
Oh, you mean between the shoulders and the chest? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless that's badly transformed, yeah, those are some very noticeable holes in there.
Also, like, I would say engineering-wise, it doesn't seem that much of a improvement over the Siege one.
No.
Like, it's a strange thing to say in 2020, but I'm quite disappointed I'm not seeing ankle tilts.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like there's any reason why they couldn't be in there, because it doesn't look like with the original, the original one, let's say, that one had like hinge joints for its feet. These ones, I'm guessing, kind of flip up inside of the jet mode or something.
Presumably?
They do something at least, so they probably could have done something for an ankle rocker at the very least, or something.
Yeah,
I would have hoped.
But yes, it does look like a better version of a figure from 14 years ago.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say tremendously better, at least from my perspective. I
mean, gun to my head, you have to buy a Starscream that looks G1. I would probably get this over the Siege one, because the alt mode is not a back kibble, and it doesn't have the stupid war paint. But that is the deciding factor. Paint and gimmicky alt mode.
Mm-hmm. And gun to your head. Like, that would be a thing.
Like, I was thinking about, like, I saw Springer as well, and just like, I could be convinced to get a Springer.
Like, he wasn't so dirty.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's toys in that line. You and I would go like, okay, you could talk us into buying them, but you've made it worse. You've taken an okay toy, and you've made it worse.
Yeah.
The only Siege toy I actually own is I can't remember his name.
Brunt.
The little tank Brunt. Thank you. FCA for and from Triptychon, and he's really fun, but he's also the least G1 and the most gimmicky figure in the line.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's got very little of the war paint, damage paint, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, Andy, take us on to some Actually, no, since I'll throw this in here as well. We had a comic book announced.
Ooh.
Fresh off the heels of Transformers vs. Terminator, which is coming out in the next month or so, I believe. We have a new comic crossover. You and I were wondering what the next one was going to be.
Yes.
So this is a 96-page one-off coming in November.
Oh, it's a one-off. Okay.
Yeah, and this is Transformers: Friendship in the Skies.
Yay.
Yeah, written by Ian Flynn and James Asmus, illustrated by Tony Flex and Jack Lawrence. November 3rd. Ponies, Autobots, and Decepticons mix it up in this graphic novel mashup. When Queen Chrysalis casts a spell looking for more changelings, I actually remember who she is now I think about it.
Oh, yeah.
She's one full of holes. She accidentally interferes with a malfunctioning space bridge. What's this mean for our favorite fillies? I know what they mean by that, but that still sounds dodgy. There are suddenly a bunch of Autobots and Decepticons in Equestria, and as the dust settles, Rarity and RC find themselves teaming up against a hostile Decepticon force. Also, when you know what fillies means, it gets really fucking creepy.
Does it not just mean horse, though?
A filly is a virgin horse.
Oh, that is weird, then. I mean, it's probably accurate, but that's
They
weird.
become a mare or dam after they've...
I didn't know that. I thought they were just called fillies if they're like young ponies.
Fillies is the term used for a female horse who has not been inseminated.
Well, there you go.
Plus, Spike and Grimlock. Not that Spike. Pinkie Pie, Gage, and Shockwave. I don't know who Gage is. Fluttershy, Discord, and Soundwave. I know who they are. Rainbow Dash and Windblade. And Optimus Prime and Twilight Sparkle all team up for more adventures.
Oh man, you mean Windblade from G1? Who's
that
always
is
been there?
that is RC's G1 counterpart, yes.
Man, Windblade is truly being completely inserted into G1 now, hasn't she?
Yeah, but it doesn't bother me.
No, it's just interesting that it's... I wonder when we'll get the special edition version of the G1 cartoon when she'll have her own episode and be digitally entered into the back of some shots.
It'll be like the G2 comic cartoon where she's like framing a device.
Oh, no.
I remember when I was there in the background.
I didn't do anything, but I was there to see it.
I was there too. She's like really haggard and war-torn. War. It's hell.
Never changes.
Sometimes you're on a planet full of giant aliens. Their cat tries to eat you. That boy thinks you're a toy.
Damn, son.
You get stuck on a gambling planet. The only guy who can get you out is the compulsive gambler, who's in like 2 episodes and smokes a lot. Smokescreen. Appropriate name. And that's what she sounds. I will say the cover art is clearly done by someone more comfortable drawing ponies than Transformers.
Is it Alex? Is that what you're saying? It's Alex
yes,
Miller.
yes. Alex Milner's right. I'm trying to... Because I think the writers here are from the Pony comics.
That would... Isn't that what they did with Ghostbusters and Transformers as well? They gave it to the Ghostbusters writer.
And that worked. The guy could write Transformers quite well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to check because I recognize the names because I have read a couple of issues of the Pony comic. It's aimed fairly young,
Makes
which
sense.
he's fine. I remember Ian Flynn. Ian, this is interesting. Now, just checking something. Yeah. So James Asmus wrote issues 51 to 53 of the Pony comic. He also did some X-Men, Runaways, stuff like that. Ian Flynn is probably best known for being the man behind Archie Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, so the inferior Sonic comic.
Who's also currently the head writer for IDW's Sonic the Hedgehog.
I say that, and I don't mean that to be harsh, but compared to the UK comic.
Yeah, it is. Also a guy in a lot of legal issues over the use of characters from the Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comic. But
really? Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, there's a whole back and forth. Like, some people say one of the reasons there was a big reboot was to basically drop, because there was at some point, to drop a lot of the original characters that they still, if he did a character, you still have to pay him if a character is from, that he created is in the book.
Right.
So, obviously there's an issue if he's got 1,000 characters, and even after he's left the book, you're still paying him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, also, like, Sega has ridiculous demands on any Sonic comic that's not published in the 90s, so, yes. But yeah, so, I'm interested. Like, not the main pony writer, but, also the pony comic hit 53 issues.
Wow, that's actually not bad.
Yeah, but I'm curious. I haven't read a lot of Ian Flynn stuff. I have read a bit of his IDW Sonic, but which read fine. It didn't blow my mind, and it definitely read fairly young, but that's okay too. Yeah, Andy.
Mikey.
Convention news.
convention news. Mikey, let me tell you about a convention that's coming in 2020. In August, on August 1st, 2020, Cybertronian Festival. It's coming. It's going to be set up in Kent, in WA. What's WA?
Wah.
Wah. Yeah, what's Wah? What American state is Wah?
Wendigo?
Wendigo. It's the Wendigo state. The hilly region, I'm sure.
City of Kent. Washington.
Oh, Washington. Okay, Kent, in Kent, Washington, apparently. Not DC, the actual state Washington, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So if you're in the area, August the 1st, this year, go down. Have fun. Be merry.
It's a Christmas tree face.
Hey. And for TFCon, we have another special guest. It's the Jim Sorensen of TFCon. It's Aaron Archer.
Aaron, please leave. No, this is my hotel.
I have decided to stay forever. But of course, we've talked about Aaron Archer before on the show. So he's going to be going down. And if you want to talk design and Hasbro and all that kind of stuff behind the scenes, he's going to be there in Orlando on March, which is coming up real soon, strangely enough. It's like next month. Next month. Next month in a few weeks. Boom. Sorted. Mikey, what have you been up to this week, son? What have you done for fun?
We do that. We do have one other piece of news, Andy.
Oh, shit.
We have controversy.
Oh, no. My favorite.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
What did you do?
No, I did everything. So, we talked last week about mysterious rumblings that BotCon is coming back.
Ooh.
And it has been confirmed that there will be a BotCon in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Not what you thought it was, though.
What is what I thought it wasn't? What?
So, yeah, exactly. So the general wonderings was, with HasCon seemingly, I don't want to say failing, but going down the toilet might be good. Were Hasbro about to, resurrect BotCon in an official capacity? Oh my god, exclusive toys, exclusive things, blah, 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 blah. No. What has happened, and now some people are saying they are trying to get Hasbro interested in it again, but right now, BotCon has a company, BC Productions, bought the license for the name BotCon off Fun Publications.
Yeah.
And will be running BotCon as an unofficial convention. So
it's going to be like TFCon, basically, then, right?
Yeah, what it is a starter convention.
Right.
So, which is something that people don't seem to be talking about a lot when they're doing the advertising for it.
No, well, they're not going to. You want to kind of ride off the success or the name brand, at least, of the previous BotCons.
For me, the main thing about telling you this is to emphasize, please be aware you are buying a name only from this. Now, there is some connections to BotCon. The man behind it all is one of the original founders for BotCon in 1994, Carl Hartman. He is sort of the CEO of the whole shtick. And, as long as the name is not abused and everything else, it's fine with me if they want to use it. I would say it means there's no reason to go to this over TFCon. But, for me, TFCon is a proven element. This is not. Now, if it ended there, the story would have ended by now, wouldn't it, Andy?
If it was a nice, pure, sane world, yes.
But, no. No. So, when people say BotCon these days, there is one name that seems to follow it like the plague.
Is it Peter Cullen?
It is a Peter. It is a Peter. Peter Cullen watches from the shadows, waiting, interminably waiting. But you'll want me back again. But Pete Sinclair, controversial figure that he is. One of the things people were saying early on is that, hey, we sure hope he's not involved.
Woo.
The Allspark has partnered with Hartman to publicize this. And when this was said, things went a bit weird. The thread where people were saying they really hoped Peter Sinclair wasn't in there, and then explaining why, many accusations of racism, bully tactics, inability to keep your money safe, bad behind the scenes running of BotCon, bully tactics again. racism again, other things. I spent 10 minutes running through the guy's Facebook, and he just seems unpleasant.
Mm-hmm.
He just, like, putting aside his politics, which I will say run counter, I am very much on the liberal side of politics in general. I may not sound like it sometimes, but that's just because I'm a dickhead. And I'm fairly relaxed about most things, but putting his politics aside, he just seems like a bully. And what I know from people that I would say I trust, crazy people that I trust, that seems like an accurate statement. But he is a controversial figure, and a lot of people were saying they don't want him involved. The Allspark thread went insane because at the time this was happening, and statements have been released by mods on the Allspark about this. No one knew how to handle this, so people panicked.
Yeah, I heard that the Allspark went insane, shall we say.
Posts were being deleted, posts were being blocked, people were being threatened with being deleted and blocked. There was a point where if you weren't a registered member, you couldn't read the thread.
Oh, really? Jesus.
The creator of the website and his wife apparently went on a behind-the-scenes tangent of epic proportions, whereby the Allspark almost got deleted.
Oh, no.
And pointing out, Allspark is one of, if not the oldest, Transformers online forums and communities.
Yeah, it's one of the big boys.
Yeah, and it nearly got deleted, apparently.
That's mad!
There
Jesus.
was, between the active moderators on Discord and everything else, the forum, and the owner of Allspark, the moderators are saying there was basically a lot of bully boy tactics of sit down, shut up, and do what I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, it reminded me a lot of what was coming out about Channel Awesome back in day.
Oh, wow.
And what happened was that all the active mods... Now, there's a lot of mods on the Discord and the forum and everything else, but a lot of them are inactive.
Mm-hmm.
All the active mods quit.
Huh.
So, I don't know if it's still this bad, but immediately afterwards, someone told me, under no circumstance ever try to go into the Allspark Discord at the moment, because it has turned into the most heinous place on the internet.
Oh man, is it Mad Max, basically?
Mad Max, yeah. What a lovely day! But yeah, so the Allspark nearly died, and then it was confirmed that Pete Sinclair was in some capacity involved. Originally, it seemed like he was running the shop. What actually was happening was that right now, when you click through, you go to Pete's Robot Convention.
Which is a different thing, right?
Which is a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
But very quickly, a rumor came up that it seems that is Pete's Robot Convention just going to morph into BotCon?
Do you mean it's a separate thing, or do you mean like combined together?
Kind of like what happened to Auto Assembly.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, it was also... A statement came out like, these are the people who are working on it. Pete's name was in there. Apparently, several other controversial figures were in there that are not very popular in the fandom. And then Pete Sinclair made a public statement, which didn't help.
Oh.
Several people I saw said, "Oh, this feels very heartfelt," and I think the guy is really trying to show that he's not a bad person, blah, blah, blah. One of the big things that started this was that when he was running the bot on Twitter, there was a lot of really racist memes being tweeted.
Okay.
Or retweeted.
Okay.
Or at least several. I don't remember the days, and apparently there was a lot of arguments with people and blah, blah, blah. He made an apology. And as an outsider, who again has never met the man, who has only heard of him from public knowledge and what people I know have told me, that sure read like a guy trying to give an apology where it's kind of your fault for blaming him.
Okay.
Including at one point, and I really hope I misread this, where he insinuated some of the reasons that bad things have been tweeted on his Twitter or the BotCon Twitter was because his child got hold of his phone. Just like, do you have a really racist child? Mr. Sinclair? Is he on your Facebook too? And then this all got super political as people started saying, oh, it's the far left trying to ruin the world, and then it's the far right trying to ruin the world, and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Once you go to extremes in any political view, you're kind of fucking up anyway. So yes, and like I said, context of what he espouses, again, from the 10-15 minutes of skimming through his Facebook, goes against my own core beliefs. But also he says it in a way that makes me think if you were in the same room as him and talking, his voice would get progressively louder, so he would be shouting over you.
Mm.
He just doesn't seem like a pleasant person. I don't know if that would kill my interest in any project he was involved in, but again, I have never been to a BotCon. I've never had to deal with the guy professionally. But yeah, they're very much a bad taste already in this BotCon. Yeah, like at one point they came out and said that we confirm he is a stockholder but not a major shareholder or something like that. Basically saying he has no influence. He's just part of the, he's providing money. He's also at Pizza RoboCon 2020. There's going to be like a BotCon pre-pack.
Okay.
Which will include a Beyond the Convention Ultimate Product Guide, which is a 144-page book which covers 2014 to 2016 BotCon exclusives, which I think is actually pretty cool. I mean, Andy, do you have any hot topic responses to the wonderful world of madness that is Transformers fandom and the people who work in and around it?
If you don't like him, don't go. If you don't care, go. Boom.
You rebel.
Yeah, I know.
Sitting there in your glass house, literally in your case.
Yes. Well, my house does have glass on it, so that's not an untrue statement. But no, if it's that much of a big deal, then don't go. If it isn't a big deal to you, then go. It's fine. Whatever, you know.
As someone who has been to a BotCon but is also in the UK, what's your response hearing it probably very, 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 very likely to be an unofficial convention, and it's a name reuse more than anything else?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me at the moment because it's yet to prove itself, because it's not going to be the same show, and even if it was the same show, to me it would still have to prove itself because it's been a long break, so it'd have to have a successful 1 or 2 conventions under its belt again consecutively before I'd be like, okay, it's worth going to this again, apart from just the enjoying going to America kind of experience. And if they're not official, means that they probably won't have the really cool exclusives, one would imagine. Not guarantee, but one would imagine that's probably going to be the case. So, and that was a big thing for a lot of people. So, granted, you and I have over the years said sometimes the sets haven't always been the best and are things that we haven't cared about. But I'm hey... I guess it means a competition between them and maybe TFCon will start up again. Maybe some friendly competition to help push each other to be better conventions. Can't be a bad thing.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's all I got. What about you, Mikey? If anything else?
I hope that it is all resolved reasonably and calmly. And listen, like, if this person's involvement in a convention is a big issue for you, do not try and justify why you need to not go. Just you don't need to go.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you are riding high in the name of BotCon, please don't attack someone because they're saying they have a problem with a problematic figure being involved in the convention. Because I have seen that as well. Like, don't basically treat people like they're human beings, not voices on the internet.
Yeah.
We say terrible things all the time, but we're here for entertainment, not sense.
Are we here for entertainment? Is that
Mostly
why we're here? Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, so.
Then, Mikey, I've got to ask you what you've been up to this week. What you done for fun?
I had a birthday to sort out for someone for this week, so
your birthday?
Kind of no,
I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care if it is my birthday.
That's true. Well, no, I've got to send you a bag of poo if it is your birthday.
Yeah, I was wondering why that kept coming. Especially every time I change addresses and don't share it with anyone.
It's because I wasn't sure when your birthday was, so I thought, well, better just keep sending it.
Once a week is a bit much, though.
It'll happen one day.
Let's see, what did I get up to this week? That's noteworthy. Was looking at my games catalog, like I finished Senran Kagura.
Oh, did you enjoy it? Now it's all done?
Good ending. Like I said, the problem of repetition is still there, but I think the character roster is wide enough and varied enough that you will, if you don't really feel the need to stick to the inverted commas canon characters for each fight, you will definitely keep yourself entertained. And the ending's good. It's a little random, but it's good. And there's also a whole other playthrough of the other school, of the evil school, the Heavy Joe, to go through, which I probably will at some point because I'm interested in their story. Like I said, like the game story is far too good for what it is. So I was looking at the games catalog. I was thinking like maybe not Code Vein yet. Like I really feel Code Vein's something I need to sit down and just like here's a day to really get into it.
Okay.
Same with Bloodborne, in all honesty. So I started doing Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, which is
That's the sequel, isn't it?
yeah, but what I didn't know was that it's a parallel story.
What do you mean? Oh,
So-
it happens in tandem with the other
Yeah,
one.
so
Oh, okay.
all like basically like while Cyber Sleuth was going on, something else was happening that was also a big threat that the main characters weren't involved in. And they are like most of them have made appearances now, including Nokia, so I'm happy. And yeah, it's basically more of the same gameplay wise, a bigger roster of Digimon. So there's like one I'm largely trying to play through with new Digimon in it.
You're not going to get your Ara lady back in the party
No,
again.
no, I will be getting our lady in because like she's fucking terrifying in a fight.
Yes.
But
that's the
like
reason.
there's also like the Sistermons. I'm getting them because they're nuts. They're way too strong for what they are.
The Systemons.
Sistermon Noir and Sistermon Blanc, or in America, Sistermon Seal.
Is it like Sister that Nickelodeon used to have on?
They're nuns.
Oh, so yeah, it's 100% like Sisters.
Yeah, they're Digimon nuns, but one is wearing black and white, and like apparently in America that was a big controversy because of religious views. So
Oh my god.
so in America she's colored blue and called Sistermon Seal. But Noir and Blanc, who are quite fun characters. And there's Megidramon, who is one I definitely want to get, who is the evil mega form for Guilmon, the main guy from Tamers, and is kind of iconic for a fight scene. Actually, all the Tamers characters are in this now, so like I can get Crimson mode, I can get Beelzemon Blast mode, all the names you don't know about.
I know Renamon.
Renamon, yes, you can get Renamon. Sexy
and the
Renamon.
the rabbit with a machine gun for hands.
Yes, but I'm trying to get not him, Antilamon, because they've introduced evil Antilamon. It was like a big black demonic hell rabbit clown.
Okay, sure.
It was cool, so I'm getting him this time around. But yeah, story is interesting. It's more low key at the moment.
How far are you into it? Are you just kind of getting the story going?
About
Or?
10, 15 hours.
So yeah, I guess it's still kind of the beginning of a
Yeah,
JRPG.
I'd say I'd have a third of it done in
Right.
terms of the actual scale. But the character's his account was hacked, and people at school think that he's now a dirty rotten hacker, so he's kind of been kicked out of school.
Hang on. That's not what happens at school. Someone finds out you're a hacker, they're like, "Oh man, can you help get me some fucking
Yeah,
torrents?"
but this is a world where you digitize your brain and put it on the internet.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a bigger deal, I suspect. Also, digitizing your brain and putting it on the internet is a plot point in this one.
It sounds rather dangerous.
Yeah, he decides to join a group of white hackers to try and prove his innocence. He meets Digimon. He finds out Digimon are sentient, and a lot of people don't accept that. The characters around are pretty interesting. They've also introduced some new battle mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a grid-based combat thing where you fight for points, which is kind of interesting. And you get to, you can pick allies to join you in different fights and whatnot. I will say, because I have the old save, a lot of my, you get free items and you get the entire field guide from before comes over.
Is that just a list of your of how to get them rather than anything else?
So I'm finding it a bit easier than the first game.
Okay.
One of the items you get is an easy level up. And now I know, if I get this and put it on this Digimon, their special ability triples your EXP or something like that.
Okay.
So I'm 10, 15 hours in, I've already got a Mega. Which is, it took me longer than that to get my first Mega in the first game. But it's a fun game. I'm liking the new Digimon overall. Story, I think, is about to kick up. I'm enjoying it. I will probably try something else. I have to admit, a little bit of what's going on now is filling the space before Final Fantasy.
Oh, yeah. When is Final Fantasy? That's not next month, is it?
April 4th.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so you still got a bit of time.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't feel the need to buy it day one. I'll buy it when it comes down in price.
I may have already bought it.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't feel the need to rush because I've played the game already.
Yeah, it's a weird thing of just. Yeah, although I've been watching a couple of playthroughs of people who haven't played it, including one person saying like, "I was told never to play it because it was an old game."
Who? What? Who said that?
You're an 18-year-old child. Don't listen to your friends.
Yeah, who told them not to play it just because it's old? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're the fun channel called Eurogamer where these two ladies, one is like old school like
hang on, did you say Eurogamer as in the
Eurogamer?
Okay, the website that does reviews, because I remember the joke was they always gave 7 out of 10s to every game.
I've never seen their website. I didn't know they had one. But I've been watching the playthrough because it's like one girl who was like, I was there when it came out. Tifa over Aerith, literally gets mad when in the middle of their playthrough they accidentally get Aerith in the dating scene. Like she's properly like sitting there fuming a bit for the next 20 minutes.
Damn right.
It's kind of fun. Yeah, because the game doesn't even go that way in the end.
No.
I'm telling you, he got laid the Highwind. People tell me I'm wrong sometimes. They're just like,
why? Why they say he's wrong?
The whole scene is about them connecting, and they wake up, and it's fine. It's fine for the two characters to have had sex. It's not a bad thing.
No, Mikey, they just went to sleep outside under the stars. And
I'm sure. I'm sure that's what happened.
Nothing else.
I'm sure he held something with his hands. But it's been really interesting because the person playing it went from I have no idea what this game is because they watched the remake trailer, didn't get excited.
Oh, that makes sense.
But now it's like, oh my god, yeah. They watched the most recent trailer and went, oh my god, Red 13, I love Red 13. So I love the fact that game still wins people over because it's a real good game. TV wise, I caught up on Ryder. So it's the latest of the 5 trials of keeping the company. This one is an actual trial trying to prove someone is guilty or innocent with a prosecutor who's human and a defender who's a human gear.
Oh, okay.
This doesn't seem moral, but
I will ask. We're out of the tournament arc then.
No, this is
still in.
Yeah, there's 2 more tournaments.
Oh no!
But I will say the pacing is picking up considerably. Okay. You can really, like I said today, this show doesn't grab me the way Exade does, but it's very much got its DNA.
Okay.
It's a solid show. And they also introduced Metal Cluster Hopper, who is the mid-season upgrade, and who is a Berserk form.
Is that the silver one?
Yeah. This episode was also directed by the guy who introduced Black Hazard in Build. So you can see a lot of similarities in how the camera's done. And it's a good introduction, good fight scene, interesting actual like lore stuff involving the Ark, and the relationship like the Ark progress keys. And there's also like a big reveal about Bowser. At least we've already known it, but it's a big reveal about how he's involved with the Ark and everything else for Naruto and the good guys. And yeah, it's got me. I want to see more of Metal Cluster. There's a lot of special effects in this one, but I think they're done well. Also, it's a clever use of the name, Metal and Cluster. It actually really works. But yeah, and also really good looking suit, in all honesty. Wasn't crazy about it in a couple of the promos, but maybe it's just the body language of the actor. I think he does a real good job, but looks solid. So Rider, really, if you are into Rider, I would recommend this as a series to check out. Or if you're into Toku on any level, or if you just want to try Toku, I think this would be a real good starter series. Not amazing, so it's not setting unrealistic standards, but very enjoyable.
Okay.
And anything else TV wise of note? Just Set on Academy, really.
Oh yes.
Yes. Because I went through a bit of the anime season in general. I still can't find much else to interest me, so I do have Promare now, so I will be watching that. Also a movie called Black Fox. I will be watching that as well, but. Okay. And then it's like I'm going to spend a few weeks going over some backlogs and seeing what interests me. I found all 4 has Primal, Samurai Jack, and Mobile Suit Gundam Origins up in it. So I'll be definitely rewatching Samurai Jack, and I'll probably be trying Mobile Suit. I I haven't seen Gundam: The Origins, so I don't know if it's any good. But
No, it is good. Yeah.
yeah. Set in Academy, which is The Race, for want of a better term. Andy, what did you think of this one?
It was okay. Not great, but it had some nice heartwarming moments, with the zebra lady and the donkeys coming back, and they teamed up together, and they got the little gaming corner because now she, instead of being the princess of the school, now she's the princess of the donkeys and can play Magic the Gathering. Magic the Donkey. She's the best Magic the Donkey player there is, which is great. Yeah. So it seems like she's fallen on a bit of hard times, so it's nice to see that she's almost embraced being like an idiot geek, I guess. No, it was fun. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't one of my favorite episodes, I will say.
There are bits in this I really loved.
Yes, but overall it wasn't a great episode.
The bits with Miyubi and Ranka helping out the moles, the mole rats.
Yeah.
That she just keeps on dropping dead.
Keeps dying.
Miyubi! It was the reading the reason. Lifted a tool too heavy. A tent cloth fell on her. The wind blew.
Yeah, that was my favorite. The wind blew. No.
And also there's Molio, who is the mole equivalent.
Yeah, I love the name. Molio was a great name.
And also I really liked the bit with the chimps. So just like everything can use their natural abilities. Chimps are tool users, which in this case translates into ladders, motorbikes, and tasers.
The simple tools that chimps use. Because I thought to myself, well, then why can't I can't remember the human's name.
Jin.
Yeah, why? Yeah, that's right, Jin. Why couldn't Jin use any of that shit? Since his species actually invented all of the things that they were using.
Yeah, it wasn't like the chimps were very smug for using things that someone else made.
Yeah, exactly. Which is weird because, in terms of strength, chimps are way stronger than us.
Oh yeah.
Way stronger, terrifyingly. Face-rippingly stronger and testicle-bitingly stronger than us.
They do include a note that, chimpanzees, very smart, very unpleasant.
Yes, yeah, I was glad to mention that because chimps are not nice.
Yeah, people think that chimps are these sweet little and they're not.
No.
They're really not.
No.
I also liked the bit with Koala. Yukari broke that poor gorilla's arm.
Yes, because thanks to Urban Legend, she has the strength of 1 ton, while gorilla had, was it half that amount?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah.
Well, the bit with the donkeys where it's like, he crossed the Alps on a donkey, and then to himself at a much lower altitude.
Didn't need to tell him, though. Didn't need to tell him. I will say that there didn't seem to be as many animal facts in this episode.
No.
Which is maybe why I didn't like it as much.
Also, they didn't focus on the weirdness as much.
It was just a very simple story of we got to win the race, and I don't think they should have won, to be honest.
No, then again, I think having a sport at the end of the sports day, by the way, this is worth all the points of the other matches combined.
We've never seen that in any other forms of media before.
Yeah,
never. Yeah, so not the best, but it's still entertaining.
Yeah. Also recorded a podcast for Woo Woo on Digimon, which I will probably send over to you soon.
What kind of Digimon, Mikey? Because that's a very broad subject.
Oh, you'll see.
Oh my god.
We'll see. And I will hopefully get another Fossil Fic podcast out in the next week or two.
Oh, cool.
God, that's been delayed, but illness, busy, life.
Yes.
Shit. Andy, what about you?
I haven't done a huge amount.
Lazy bastard.
I know. Well, it's just been the usual life stuff I've been doing. I did get to see my mate Matt on Tuesday, so that was fun. Spent the day with him. We went around the woods, Hamsterley Forest. There was a trail that was up and said, "Oh, you can find a UFO," and we were like, "Oh shit, we're gonna fucking find a UFO, lads. We're gonna fucking find a UFO." So we got to the last marker. It's no UFO. The sign said, "Pull out your phone and use the app." I was like, "Yeah, cheeky bastard. I don't have a fucking phone." I was like, I wanted, we were both hoping for a really shitty tinfoil structure that looked like a vague shape of a UFO. We got nothing. It was bullshit. Utter horseshit, and we were so pumped. We were like, "Oh man, it's gonna be fucking amazing. It's gonna have lights and sounds and smoke." It was never gonna have that, but we had a good time. It was a good time with Matt, hanging out, having tut laughs,
and
having lads conversations about lads things, lads. What else did I do? I saw Mr. Gruff and Mr. Taz yesterday being Saturday, because the Carlisle Games Workshop store had a anniversary, so I went down to say hi to Gruff, say hi to Abby and the little Josser, his little son. It was a fun time. Went out for Thai food, had some fun times, and then came home when the big wind and incredible amounts of rain hit. So it was me just kind of sliding around the road going, wee!
Whee!
I'm gonna die!
I'm taking you with me.
I'm in danger.
Pulls over. How are you doing? I'm fine. I'm going to die.
I bent my Wookiee.
And that's how Andy got invited to HasCon 2025.
That's right. So yeah, I watched Senton Gakuen as well. I got back onto watching the Overly Cautious Hero, which is still okay. It's no Konosuba. It doesn't have the same laughs as Konosuba, but it's still entertaining enough. And it's nice to see an exasperated goddess instead of a human exasperated with the goddess. So that's quite nice. Also watched a very controversial anime this week, Mikey. The controversial anime of the season, Mikey. Do you know what it is?
No, I don't actually.
It's the Interspecies Reviewer.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen the memes.
Yeah, I wanted to see what the fuss was about because people were getting all riled up and angry about it, and I wanted to know if it was worth it.
Because just seeing the memes and a couple of screenshots, whatever, it looks like softcore pornography.
Well, I'm seeing the censored version, so I couldn't tell you, but probably.
In which case, why are people getting worked up about porn?
I don't know. They are, though. Funimation's has got something in their anus because they have standards, even though they have a back catalogue of the anime that would prove otherwise, it seems. But I heard like a lot of people saying good things about it, saying it was really funny and stuff like that, and we're putting it in the same category of Shimamenta and Monster Musume. So I was like, I don't know.
Those are high standards.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Unrealistically high standards for anything.
I thought so. So I went in, watched it, and just went, yeah, it's all right. There's not much to it. It's definitely got the softcore porn kind of aspect to it. And if there are jokes in there, I didn't find them funny myself. It's like if you're gonna say, "Hey Annie, what would you prefer to watch? Would you want to see the Interspecies Review or another season of Monster Musume?" I'd throw that person out of a window, and their T-shirt would read, "Now I have another season of Monster Musume." Ho ho ho.
We are Shimonetta. Well, Shimonetta wouldn't be the same after that poor woman died.
No, I could live without Shimamenta having another season to it.
Yeah.
That would be fine. It ended in a decent way.
On the other hand, God damn it!
Yeah, that didn't end. He didn't choose a wife.
No. How is he dead? I don't know. I'm behind on the manga.
So it's not amazing. I wouldn't recommend it just on the basis that it doesn't feel like it's got a lot to it apart from the kind of softcore kind of stuff to it.
Is it one of those series you're tuning in to go, titties?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't think that's an unfair thing to say.
You and I think we grew past that in our early 20s. Yeah. Like, I'll watch fan service anime still and laugh my ass off, but they gotta have more than that.
Yeah, and to me, currently, like 3 episodes in, it didn't feel like it had anything else to it. I don't know whether it gets anything else to it, but from the premise of the series, which is in a fantasy world, these lads go around to the brothels and rate the species because they're from different species, so they have a different perspective on what makes a good brothel for their own kind and what doesn't.
Well, naturally.
So
we all wonder what makes a good quality brothel.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, like if a giant alligator man said, "Oh, this place is great," and you go there and say, "What the fuck is this shit? Whoa! Why are they pouring hot water over me? Why is my skin burning off?" So in that world, there is a legit reason for it to exist. But apart from that, I just kind of look at it and go, it's. I don't think it's nearly as offensive as people seem to assume it is, and I don't think it's as good as the people defending it say it is. It's just like, it's fine, and it's meh. I don't know if I'll continue it just because, like I said, just didn't have too much to it, at least in my eyes. But I
Monster Musume.
I want to get that on Blu-ray again so I can rewatch it.
I nearly did, but it was way too expensive in HMV that time.
Yeah, I missed out. Like last year or the year before, it was on a big sale on one of the sites. So now I'm completely against buying it for the full price. I'm like, no, fuck you. I want it on the sale price, son.
Monster Musume is kind of like if you bought Figma Ryuko.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like when people go into your house, they sort of stop and stare at it, and you say, no, you sit down, and I will explain to you.
You don't understand.
What is wrong with your perceptions?
Exactly.
This is not about a snake with breasts.
Mm-hmm.
This is about a man who will not die.
Yes.
Being squeezed by
a lady with snake with breasts, yes.
Who is fantastic.
Yes.
And a fantastic character. I will have no bad words about Mia.
Mia is a good grill. She's a good grill.
Yep.
She only wants good things. She's just
Yep.
That's the problem. She's a little bit too enthusiastic with her love,
life,
and will kill him.
And everything, really.
Yes.
Yep. Like
she will hug him during the night and break all of his bones, for she is a giant python lady.
Yes, but she means well.
She means well. She's a good girl.
She's a good girl.
Yeah. That's why I like it. It's fun. And also, Fate Grand Order Babylonia came back. So it was episode 16. Oh boy, I really liked this show. Like, especially after watching Fate Apocrypha, which was fucking messy. And like I said before, you get the most out of Apocrypha when you're really deep into Fate and you've played Fate Grand Order and you know the characters a lot more. Then the show kind of picks up. But man, Babylonia is just really solid. It's got some really good moments with Enkidu, and all that jazz. Though we are coming to the end. Coming to the end of it. I think it'll probably be like 24, 25 episodes from how it's feeling and remembering where we are in the game kind of play to where we should be by the end of the anime. Since I already know what will happen and whatnot. Were you going to say something, Mikey?
I was going to make a Darmok and Jalad reference.
What, with Enkidu? No, he's...
At Urk.
No.
Gilgamesh and Enkidu.
I know.
At Urk.
Yeah. Damn you, Mikey.
I also have to watch
actually
Picard.
Works okay. No, you don't. I don't hear good things about Picard.
I hear the exact same things I'm hearing about Discovery, which is either people love it or hate it, but... I saw one scene of Picard snapping at a reporter, and I thought, oh yeah, Patrick Stewart's a really good actor.
Do you remember how Starfleet always had like a Fox News kind of organization that ran the media? I do. It once again does not sound like fucking Star Trek.
It's like I saw one person saying there's not enough action in it, and then I
oh
saw
my god,
clip.
kill me!
I'm just like, do you know what Star Trek is?
Kill me! I need to die.
People don't go, I really like that episode of TNG called The Drumhead with that fake trial and the crazy lady Admiral, and people don't go like, I really like the bit where she just punches some guy in the face.
Oh, to be fair, she was seconds away from punching Picard in the face as soon as he mentioned her father. My father! Fuck you, bitch!
But like, he hit her multiple times with the Picard speech.
Oh, he broke her legs! He fucking broke her spine with his speech and she just huffed off.
I just love that bit where he goes like, do we condemn a man because he carries the blood of a current enemy?
Yes.
It's like, shit.
Me in the
Picard
background.
out.
Yes.
That's the Picard equivalent of a mic drop.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
that's
God,
a damn good episode.
I just don't want
great.
action in the Star Trek. It's not what the show's about. It's a weird thing to say, but it's political drama.
It's a cherry on top of
Space.
your ice cream or your cake.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the cake. It's not the cherry.
Yeah, because this is in most Star Treks, the fights are fucking bad. Because, like, what they call, like, amazing fight choreography is clearly not.
Oh, do you remember, like, in season 1 where you have the old admiral infected with the parasite and he takes on Worf and Riker and it clearly switches to a terrible stuntman with a wig. It's amazing.
Was that the first time Worf got Worfed?
I don't know. I think no, because that was the end of the season, so you must have got whiffed on before that. I just remember that old man lifting his legs up and going left and right with it. Whoosh, whoosh. It's called I called it the window wiper kick. Oh, it's so good. And it was either Riker or Worf went through the table. It's great.
Yeah, season 1 of TNG is very worth a watch for a very specific reason, and it's not the quality of the writing.
No, it's also like to see how much I don't mean this by the cast, but everybody hates each other on the ship.
Oh my god, yes, they do. Like,
They hate Data. They fucking
not just
hate
Wesley.
him.
Like,
No.
Picard hates Riker, he hates Worf, he hates Beverly,
Yep.
he hates Troy. Picard especially hates everyone.
Yes.
Like, Picard is just like, oh, you're on the planet dying? Oh.
Shame the transporter's broken as he rubs his nipples.
No. Shame it's broken. I'm pressing the button. Oh, the only one he's not openly hostile to is Data.
No, but Riker was hostile to Data.
Yeah, and that's like being hostile to a puppy.
No, exactly. Yeah, season
but-
1's weird.
Yeah, season 3, then you cut to like...
That's where it kind of
everyone-
settles.
Well, yeah, season 3 is where you get episodes like Measure of a Man.
Mhm.
Or season 2, season 3. And that's like where Riker is completely like, this is my friend and I will not condemn him as an object.
Oh,
And being told,
that's season 2, I think.
Yeah, but that's a
Great
that is-
episode.
That is an episode that showed you the potential of the series.
Yeah, totally.
I also, like, my favorite Riker scene is the one at the end with him and Data, and just like, I nearly killed you. Yeah, but you didn't have a choice, and I'm alive because you sacrificed your own well-being.
And I'm a robot, so I don't really care.
Yeah, just like, I don't take it personally, and I appreciate the efforts you took on my behalf.
Yeah.
And what's the line? You're a wise man, my friend. Not yet, sir. But with your help.
Oh, yeah, that was a great line.
Ah,
Fucking Next Gen.
Such a good show.
You know what
Fuck
they
you,
never
Star
answered on Next Gen?
Hmm?
What happened to Spot?
What did... God, no, he survived the crash.
Did he? Did he survive Generations?
Yes, because I remember there is a scene where he pulls him out of the... Data pulls him out.
Oh,
And
they
he's- 'cause
probably
he's got the
probably had to do that, didn't they? To be like,
Yeah.
no, don't worry, the
But-
cat didn't
he's got
die.
he's got the emotion chip, and he's like, I don't
Oh.
understand. He's talking to Geordi. I don't understand. I am happy to see Spot, but I'm crying. And Geordi's like, you're doing it right, Data. After a weird movie for you.
I like the idea that Jodie just looked at him and said, well, I guess the chip's broken, Data. We're going to have to take your part. As Jodie's rubbing his hand, phoning up Maddox on the phone. I've got the android just like you wanted.
I
Maddox,
have heard
for those not aware, was the guy that was trying to decommission Data
Yes.
in the episode that Mikey was mentioning earlier.
Yes. Who also gets referenced a lot in the show if you actually
But
pay
isn't
attention.
actually in, apparently,
No.
as of yet.
But like Maddox was a background recurring character, basically just showing that Data and him were still communicating because Data don't take it personally.
Yeah, no, he really don't. No,
Seriously, watch Measure of a Man. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think the people who are saying Picard is good are the people that said Discovery is good. So I'm assuming I don't know that for sure, but if you like Discovery, you might like Picard. If you didn't like it, you should be prepared to want to die, as I do.
Does it not have Michael Burnham? Because that's always upsetting.
No, she's luckily not in the
She
show.
just rises out of a coffin. I
Christ.
live.
I actually made Data. I was Dr. Sung's
Oh
inspiration.
no! Don't! They would fucking do that because
Yeah.
Michael does everything.
Yeah, I know.
Michael is perfect. Also, hey, your new ship Picard is powered by fungus.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that show is so dumb.
it's not.
Please don't tell me it's intelligent and no, it's dumb. It's fucking dumb.
I need to buy Next Gen on Blu-ray at some point.
Oh, yeah,
I really
God,
wanna. I just keep getting put off because it's like it's £50, and that's a good price for all 7 seasons. But I've already seen it, so it's like I want to keep waiting until it goes further down. I don't
It's
know.
one of those things where you want it because you love it, but you're also like, there are other ways right now for me to watch episodes if I want.
Yeah, because I do have most of them on DVD.
Yeah.
But
And-
if I have all DS9 on DVD, but if that was on Blu-ray, man, I'd get the shit out of that.
Yeah, that's not a fair comparison.
No, but yet it's the comparison I'm gonna make. I mean, you can. I mean, if Voyager was on Blu-ray, I wouldn't care. To be fair,
I'd pick it up if I was doing it to complete the set and saying like, I like Seven and the Doctor.
I wouldn't, because I don't remember enough episodes I really liked versus episodes where I was like, this existed. And it's really sad because the vast majority of the memories I have of Voyager are 7 of 9 killing it in that bodysuit. Chef's Kiss and the Kazon.
Those are two very different memories from two very different seasons.
They are, because I definitely did give a chef's kiss to the Kazon. Though I do remember one of the Kazons was Nog, and was very obviously Nog, and he was just doing the Nog voice, and I was like, God fucking damn it. Even as a kid, I was like, fuck's sake, Nog.
Yeah. God damn it, Nog. Where'd you grow your leg back?
Yeah. A good time. That was a sad episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And then
Good
he
one.
withdrew to a holodeck out of severe trauma, and then the hologram literally shut himself off to force him to re-engage with the world.
Yeah. Man, that's the fucking DS9, son. Jesus.
And then at the end of it was just like, we need to leave him on. Why? Because he deserves a life.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they did. And then they helped him with a heist.
Isn't it weird that both DS9 and Voyager both had holograms which effectively basically gain sentience?
Yeah, and they were also some of the better characters. Like, a lot of people don't seem to like your man from DS9. I do.
Oh, Vic. They don't like Vic.
Yeah, people don't like Vic.
I mean, I wouldn't rate him as one of the best characters on the
But he's
show,
fun.
but he's a solid character.
And
He's
I would
interesting
definitely
enough.
say the Doctor is one of the best characters in Voyager by a country fucking
Oh,
mile.
yeah.
Robert Ricardo in his sleep could outact most people on modern television.
I mean, yeah, he's basically Data for Voyager, and that's an interesting
For
story.
me, it was always the thing of like, oh my god, we need to figure out how to reproduce artificial intelligence. Also, over here we have fully sentient light.
Yeah, this is the problem, I think, again with Picard, because they keep talking. There's the spoilers for like the first episode. There was an android rebellion or something like that, so AIs
How?
are looked poorly on.
What?
Yeah.
How?
I want to, like, I'll send you the guys from Red Letter Media talking about it, about episode 1, because I think, one, they're funny, and two, they pull it apart and say like why things are silly. So I'll send you that, and then you can make a judgment call if you like on whether you should give it a pop or not. But yeah. Apart from that, because wow, that went fucking off topic, didn't it? Which is fine. Did I do anything else? I bought another little Lego set. It was a Hidden Sides Lego set, and that's their kind of It's almost their Scooby-Doo line. It's basically people get possessed by ghosts, and then the buildings, the surroundings, can get turned into ghostly things as well. So it's a juice bar. So it's a little juice bar where you can grab the little bit that hangs over the front of the store so you don't get wet or anything, and you lift that up, and there's a big evil ghost face, and you can replace the barista's face with a ghost face and with like crazy hair. And I thought to myself, this is what Mikey's life was like when he was a barista, except he wasn't possessed, but he looks as disenfranchised and wanting to kill everybody as you always made it sound, at least to me.
Yeah, it was an experience.
It was a job. It gave you money.
Those keep happening.
Yeah, but it's a really nice little cute set. He's got little glasses and stuff like that, and he's got like slushy machines. For like a £10 set, it's really cute. It's quite nice. And then I've just been doing more Bloodborne. I've been Bloodborning. I'm nearly at the end. I've just beaten Lady Maria for those who've done the DLC of the Old Hunters. So I've basically got one boss left, which is the Orphan of Kos. And then I've got the Wet Nurse, who's a main boss, and then Gehrman, and then the Moon Presence, I think it's called, and then I'm done. So I'm right at the end, not including any of the Chalice dungeons, which are incredibly mean. When I say mean, Mikey, I mean like there is an enemy in that dungeon that can summon enemies indefinitely.
Yeah.
And usually they can summon up to 4 or 5 of a species or an enemy. So what they tend to do at the stage I'm at summon spiders, giant spiders, and you think, oh, giant spiders, they're not a big deal. Giant spiders are a huge fucking deal in Bloodborne. They have ridiculous range with the little arms because they kind of swipe in a big arc. So it covers a massive range. They leap forward a massive distance, and they're really fucking fast. And some of the areas there's 2 bell ringing women. So there's like, on the first time I went there, not knowing where they were, I was kind of just running around, just going, oh god, where are they? And there was no kidding, 8 or more spiders after me.
Right.
And that made it like Bloodborne and Dark Souls. These are games where your primary advantage is if it's 1-on-1, it's a fair fight. If it's 2-on-1, it's doable. 3-on-1, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh there's 8 of them screaming internally. But But yeah, I'm really enjoying Bloodborne, though it does have the frustration of Bloodborne and Dark Souls, as it always does. But yeah, loving it a lot. You should get on it at some point when you like, but that is very much, again, a sit-down game. Gotta play that. It's not one of those, like, I can't imagine, like, oh, you can only play Bloodborne for an hour. You'd get nowhere. You get nowhere, because you keep dying. Is there anything else worth talking about? I feel there was, but it's kind of dribbled out of my brain, unfortunately. So we'll have to leave it there. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter with Irish Paleo. You can find me on YouTube if you want, but don't bother.
Oh, damn.
Nothing's gone up there in forever. If you want to leave us feedback, guys, the email address is moonbase2@gmail.com. You can also leave it on Patreon, on Facebook, on Libsyn, on Twitter, on Weebly, on your face.
No doubt.
I won't read it, but you can do it.
Okay.
Andy, what about you?
Well, first off, I do have a thing from Christoph Carlson.
Scum!
Which was a message left on the Facebook page. I will ask this again because I feel it will make a good discussion. So we'll do this. Is it me, or have the latest gen of cartoons made The Simpsons joke of? So you want a realistic, down-to-earth show that's completely off the wall and swarming with magic robots into a real thing. And Mikey, I found something for your Paleo Media pod. It's a new Flintstones cartoon called Yabba Dabba Dinosaurs, and it lives up to its Hanna-Barbera legacy of being the cheapest cartoon I've seen on telly. It's like single frames. It's like the frame rate is in single digits. Now, I'll tell you this, Mikey. I was fucking concerned when I first read this because he started talking about Yabba Dabba Dinosaur, and I'd seen one clip from it. And it continued to say it lives up to the Hanna-Barbera legacy, and I was like, I don't know where he's going with this. I have no idea if he's going to say this is a positive because it looks fucking trash. Have you seen a clip from Yabba Dabba Dinosaur, Mikey?
I have not.
From what I recall,
I will probably check one out afterwards.
The primary focus is on I don't think they're babies, but they're really young either way. Bam Bam and Pebbles, and a talking dinosaur who's Kevin Michael Richards.
Of course.
And it looks as fucking garbage as it sounds. It's horrific. So what do you think of the question that he asked Mikey?
And honestly, I'd say there's some truth there, because sort of the biggest trend in animation, and I'd say 6-7 years, is moving into the here's a lot of deep, meaningful stuff, all portrayed in the wackiest, weirdest way possible. So you've got Adventure Time, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Steven Universe is kind of the big one, I'd say. So on and so forth. Gravity Falls, again, another one. Although Gravity Falls, I think, is more in my wheelhouse than the others.
Yeah.
A few clips I've seen. I need to sit
down. Have you actually watched it?
Only a couple of episodes.
I would say that's worth a watch. That's a good show. It's interesting. I guess it would kind of fall kind of in the same kind of quality or enjoyment factor as Mystery Incorporated. Like, because it's a building mystery kind of thing. But it's weirder than Mystery Incorporated.
But I would say that he's hit a point. Cartoons are pushing the insanity while at the same time trying to write drama, and for a lot of people that works. I actually, of the ones I've seen, Star vs. Forces of Evil is probably the one I like the most.
I tried to get into it, but I couldn't. It was, again, the art style. I don't like that art style.
Well, leading up to it, like, for you and me, it's a bit of a drawback time.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you and I were drawn into animation largely through the Cartoon Network style comedies and action cartoons.
For me, it was mainly action cartoons, but yes, you're right.
The Dexter. I think you would say Dexter's Laboratory was a good cartoon.
Yeah. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it was. I'd still watch it and be entertained. Sure.
Yeah, or the classic one for the two of us, Invader Zim.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are shows that would not be made right now.
No. No, Dexter's Lab was really sexual, wasn't it?
Oh my god.
It was really sexual.
Like, when they remade Powerpuff Girls and what they did to poor old Cerebellum. Who was awesome, by the way.
Yep.
Back in day. But then again, they remade Powerpuff Girls, and look what they did to the Powerpuff Girls.
Mm.
But now, like, we're the kind of media we are drawn to, I think, in terms of animation, has become a lot more the online exclusive stuff, the Netflix series, stuff like Has Been Hotel.
Yeah, because they're not as shackled by a much more, from what it seems like, a much more restrictive TV. Maybe it's not restrictive, but it's restrictive in the sense that they're not going to take risks on things.
No, it's interesting because while people would say, well, they're taking risks, they're having, especially in terms of portrayal of gender, sexuality, and stuff like that, they do take some risks.
Yeah.
But I found they followed the pattern of these risks are being taken after other shows have proven it's safe.
Yeah. It's some Steven Universe will use as the example, already set the standard, and then someone went, oh, well, we'll just do that, but we won't do anything different with it. We'll skirt around it and go, that's the same.
And they get, like, if you go to the web and the web series side of things, these things have been touched upon in more explicit ways, even in younger aimed show. Like, perfect example, Dragon Prince, I think.
Yeah.
Where it has absolutely no bones about saying these two women are married and had a child.
But it doesn't beat you over the head with it.
No.
Which is nice.
Or Has Been Hotel. Again, an easy one for me to point out.
That's not really for kids, though, in fairness.
No, not even slightly.
No.
But hey, look at all the gay characters in there, and the only one that beats you over the head with, in terms of, like, we have a gay character, is the one whose entire gimmick is, I'm a horrible gay stereotype.
Yeah, and I'm in hell because I'm a big old skank.
Yeah. And I am really glad to see stuff like Steven Universe and everything else, including gays and lesbians, including transgender, I don't think we get a lot of asexuals yet, but I'm sure they're going to be coming in, like, explicitly asexual. I think it's a really fantastic trend, but it has resulted in a nature of television that I don't find as entertaining.
Agreed, yeah.
And I am glad to see those things in shows I do find entertaining, like Genlock, or Ruby, or Dragon Prince, or Has Been Hotel. But I do think it's sad in a way that there is nothing on TV now that makes you go, oh my god, ZCAU. Something like that. And people say, oh, we had Young Justice. That was somewhat of a Marmite show.
At least
for us. And again, all of that stuff has moved online anyway. Like, the stuff that mass media is pushing is things that are lots wackier and softer, even if they are trying to deal with heavier topics.
Yeah.
And that's also, you just have to look at Cartoon Network schedule, and that just degraded.
It gives you a real idea of what the priority is. And I hear people say that making cartoons is very expensive, and that is true. But it's strange that it seems like we got a lot more a few years ago, like 10 years ago, or
like
less.
I'd also say variety in general of the type of show.
Yeah.
Like, even if, like, in a month's time you'd have the same series on repeat or something like that. I could go through a whole night on Cartoon Network and you wouldn't see the same show repeated once.
No.
And this was me staying up until 2 or 3 in the morning to get to the very end of it. Nowadays, Teen Titans Go is on like 6 or 7 times in the day.
It's really bad here in the UK for Teen Titans Go. I think it's not as bad in America, or it might be bad in a different way. I can't remember, but yeah, we get a fucking lot of Teen Titans Go. A lot. I
also do you ever think that we missed out a little bit by not getting into the Steven Universes and such?
No, because I watched it. And I like I've said before, it killed me when it just like hit. Here's an important story arc, and then let's do 3 or 4 or 5 episodes where we're not going to focus on it, even though the planet's about to explode, kind of thing. Let's have a baseball game, and it's like, a slight exaggeration, but that kind of stuff happened a lot, and I was like, I'm out. I got tired of it. Also, from the sounds of things, all of the enemies were converted to good guys. No one had a comeuppance, really, it sounds like, which is not great.
I haven't seen enough of the show to know if I feel like people deserved a comeuppance, if you know what I mean.
They did. They deserved a comeuppance.
Okay.
I would say from the things I heard of what the bad guys did, they definitely didn't deserve to be forgiven because they felt sorry for themselves.
I will say something that strikes me as kind of funny is in this world where now cartoons are getting more explicit in its treatment of complex issues and also the crazy wackiness. I saw the finale of My Little Pony.
All right.
Haven't seen an episode in years, but I decided to check out the finale. I was amazed by how, like, basically Applejack and Rainbow Dash are a couple.
Oh, okay.
But the show is just sort of like, they come in at the same time and they're kind of talking about leaving the house at the same time. And it's very much you, the viewer, know what they're saying, but it's like, I'm surprised in this day and age that this show, a show which many people said was kind of one of the early hits in this whole thing, was kind of like, well, they're a pair of, you know.
Lesbians.
They're just like, I mean, just show them we're just coming from our wedding or something like that.
It's
have some fun.
It's weird because I think back to the episodes that I last saw, and it didn't, unless they shifted the characters over to acting more romantic, it didn't seem like anything was going on there. But
yeah,
maybe was there a time jump or something?
There was. I know for a fact. I haven't seen the episode, and I know for a fact there was a pre-existing lesbian couple in it.
Right.
But I don't know how explicit it was.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Best ask Nicole. Nicole would know because she's a big My Little Pony fan. She's seen a lot.
But like, that's the really positive thing to come out of it. And the negative is that you and I, the genre of show where it's harder. We have to go looking for it now.
Well, to be fair, we just have shifted primarily over to anime. That provides us with the shows that we generally like a lot more. Apart from Mecha, which has died for some reason.
Which is America, which is where we go.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I said, if I want wacky, I've got some, like, I'd rewatch Has Been Hotel and
Zim
and Hell of a Boss and stuff like that a million times because those are amazing for good fun.
Yeah.
I do want to check out whatchamacallit, the Rocco movie at some point. I never watched Rocco when I was young, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember not enjoying the show when I was a kid, but the movie was fun enough. It wasn't. I didn't find it as engaging as Zim, but it's like, yeah, this is all right. This isn't bad. So where can you find me on the internet, as we now can wrap up the show? You can find me on Twitter, as CCTFW, YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. And if you want, you could head over to Patreon page, which is patreon.com/Moonbase2. You do $2 each month, you get the extended version of From the Files to Teletron 2, which I did and got up finally. Apologies for it being late, I was slow. Yeah, I mean, you definitely get that a week early or more, I suppose. And it's also extended where we talk about comics, and you also get the Moonbase where we talk about non-transformery things, believe it or not, in more detail than we do here. And the ccbunker.weebly.com, you can head over there as well. So Mikey, thank you for joining me this week for some fun times while the weather's battering you home, I'm sure.
I can hear the witch outside.
Oh no, well, she's going to be damp.
Witch. Yeah, so she's less trying to break it and kill us. She's just like, I'm cold.
Please help me.
All I need is a Mac.
My hubble and bubble have gone. It's been put out by the rain.
Do you have an umbrella?
So until next time, everybody, we will see you next time.
Peace out.